foul shooting funny? I mean, you guys are having trouble from the perimeter, and all of a sudden everybody starts to hit stuff. Is that just shooters sometimes hot, sometimes cold?
You're not going to make them all that, but I don't know. JC was really good defensively, but he just kind of struggled a little bit offensively today until the end. But I mean, you don't worry about him because he spends more time in the gym than anybody other than James Long. So I don't worry about him. I mean, it's just a matter of, set him down, let him kind of regroup and get him back in, because anybody spends that much time in the gym's going to make some shots.
So was he a big difference in making shot that last run that put you over the top?
Well, he made 3. Yeah. It's kind of pick your poison. We were running the zone offense that when I was at Akron, we played matchup and we couldn't guard that offense. And so I thought, if we can't guard it, it's got to be pretty good. And everybody else has struggled to guard it. It's just, you're going to give up something. They're just that's our game's a numbers game. It's kind of, you got to outnumber them. And we put more people in areas than they can guard, and they have to pick who they're going to guard. And we kind of hurt them a little bit in the high post, and then they started sagging a guard in there, and that opened things up for JC. Would have pretty good shots. The hard thing is trying to get those guys to figure out who to pass it to. I mean, we have open guys. It's just, wouldn't think that'd be that hard, but.
It has to help them though when you got Sag scoring inside and Watkins making shots too. I mean,
Sags was really good. I mean, he just continues to get better and better. He really listens, and he's trying. He's trying to understand. I thought the 2 blocks he made, the one in particular, I thought really kind of got us going, got the crowd back in the game, and kind of really got us going. That was a big time block. I mean, that was kind of, I'd sit on the radio and I watched Kenyon do that every game, and that was a little bit like what I used to watch whenever he used to block shots. I mean, that was up there.
remind you then of?
No, he didn't remind me of Kenyon. Absolutely not. No, don't, Bob. Don't. I mean, that's no. That play, one play. The difference is Kenyon did it about 6 times a game. So.
He also hasn't taken any shots out of his comfort zone. Like he knows, or seems to know offensively, what he's capable of.
You don't think that's not by design? I mean, he knows. He's kind of, I think it's as you get older, you don't understand what your limitations are. You start thinking you can do more things than what you can. Brandon Brandon's had a bad ankle, and Brandon, he practiced yesterday, kind of a little bit on the day before, and I thought he gave us good minutes, and then I kind of think he got tired at the end. When you don't go every day, you lose it faster than what you think you do. That's Elijah's problem. Elijah's going to play about 4 or 5 times down the floor because he's had more injuries than, I don't know. I don't know if I've had a guy have as many injuries as he has.
Playing the all-out way that he is, can they play 34 or 35 minutes a game the rest of the way?
Well, yeah, they can, but I think it's probably, part of why Nate has struggled to make shots is because we ask him to do so much. We talk about taking, legs away from people, and I think we do that to him. I mean, he played 34 minutes again. That's a lot of minutes. I wanted to get Magic in a little bit more, and every time I was thinking about putting them in, they'd go on a run. I don't want to I don't want to take Nate out when they're on a run. So, call timeout and let him rest.
He still looks like he's taking better advantage of his length on drives and getting to the rim. He says he feels like he always has had it. It's just been a matter of more confidence and comfort. Is that something that you all have talked to him about that?
Talk to him about that all the time. We've just got it, I think the same thing with him, I think he gets a little bit tired and then he's not as effective. But he's a great guy to get into gaps. He's a great gap guy because he's got size, he's got length, he's got those big hands, and most of the time he passes it pretty well. Sometimes he gets tired. I think that happens to all of them. They get tired. They just don't. I think your concentration goes. But that's what we try to do to other people. I'm sorry.
With Sagaball, he kind of brings a different dimension to the press too, doesn't he? And the fact that you've always had the fast guards and long forwards, but having the shot blocker kind of adds maybe another dimension, maybe. Or?
Yeah, but he does. I mean, I wish we could get him to be a little more consistent with it. And I think he's sometimes he doesn't know which rotation to make sometimes, and this is, I know I've said this a lot, but this isn't a game you can think. This is a game you have to react, and until he gets comfortable with what rotations to make and where he needs to be, he's going to kind of slow himself down by overthinking things.
So this was maybe kind of just a glimpse.
Oh, I think he can get a lot better. Yeah, I think he can get much, much better. Ironic thing is Jamie's the only other guy that recruited him besides us.
See, as this season's going on, Dexter seems to be becoming the spark plug as far as getting you points.
Well, I went and watched the high school game last night, and I came home, sit down in my chair, and I got a text from Dax because we put him in a hotel with students coming back this weekend and everything. Wanted to make sure they got some rest with a 1 o'clock game, and he's texting me saying, "Man, I got to go get shots. I got to go get shots. I got to go get shots." Which usually he's saying, "Do we have to practice that long? Do we?" And so now he's wanting to get in the gym. So I thought he'd have a pretty good game. I don't know why, but I thought he would. I just thought that that mentality would carry over.
Was the alley a set piece or just recognition?
No, that's just Issa being Issa. Issa's got a good understanding how to play.
What about the one from Phillip to Dax?
That was Dax standing in the corner pointing up.
Bobby, he has your 3 high-point games this year. I think he's probably has the most shots in many of the games that he's played in, too. I don't think anybody complains about that, but that's kind of outside what you do. But
No, not really. No, I mean, I want him, JC, Issa, when they have open shots, I want them to shoot it. I get more upset when they don't shoot it than when they do. We got into this deal for whatever reason where we're pump faking everything. We're open and then we're pump faking. Now, why are we pump faking? We're open. If they come running at you, then the pump fake's good. But when you're open, shoot the ball. And he took the one from like half court. I mean, I haven't seen anybody make one from there since Archie Talley. That wasn't a real good shot. But by and large, I thought he took pretty good shots.
Whose zone offense do you steal?
I don't know if it was. I think it was. I don't know if it was Ron Green's or Steve Newton's. I can't remember. It's probably Ron Green's. You'll have to Google that to figure out who that is. Well, you want me to tell you? I think he was at Mississippi State, but we played him at Murray State, and Steve took over.
I know they're different, but they still zone Baylor. Is it good preparation? Just being in some of those.
It's different. It's different. It's different, and I don't know if anybody in the country has a 7'1" guy standing in front of the rim that can block shots like Baylor's guy. He's pretty good. And then Motley's whatever he is, 6'9" or 10 and really long. What makes Baylor really good is their length. And Scott does a good job, too.
Well, you've seen some 3s and 4s that bring the ball up against you, especially the last 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
Is that sort of the strategy you think that's going to follow against the press?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we need to zone it up more. We need to zone it up more and figure out a way that those 3s and 4s bring it up against JC and Dax and Tariq instead of whoever, Sags or Nate Nate just makes good decisions up there. It's hard not to have him on the front of the press.
Coach, I might have missed this, but I didn't see Coach Everhart out there. Is he good? I know he's
Had surgery yesterday. Had back surgery yesterday. Not in very good spirits because, we don't carry the game over in the hospital. So he had listened to it on the radio. I shouldn't say had to. He was excited about listening to Jay Jacobs' analysis of the game. No, I mean, my wife was in there too. Anyway, she was in the hospital for 2 times during a football game, and I'm in there. I'm watching every football game in the country but ours. You can hear the crowd. You can't even watch the game. And I brought that up to President Gay. It must not have been real high on his list of things to get accomplished because obviously we still can't watch our games in the hospital. So.
How long do you think his rehab is? How long do you think?
I don't know. He had a lot done. So I think the last thing that we want to do is rush him. I want him to come back where he can go full go. But he had a very severe back injury and a very complicated surgery.
NCAA allow Billy to do more with you in practice?
Josh is.
Okay.
Josh is, yeah. Good for Josh. Yeah.
Ryan still advanced scout from his hospital level?
Well, he can't because we can't get the game.
Thanks, Coach.
Mm-hmm.